Fuck it.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Hello, ladies and gents. My name is Trollarg.
And this is the SLB.
And welcome to Trouble in Bedlam. This is going to be our new podcast that we're using to launch Bedlam Media. And what is Bedlam Media, you might be asking?
Well, Josh, Trollarg, that is a great question. Bedlam Media is a multimedia project comprised of me, Trollarg, several others, where we're going to cover content that ranges from entertainment, sports, and tech.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, that kind of sounds like that enterprise that they had in Step Brothers. But it's not, we promise you. What we're actually looking to do here is we're going to take a lot of elements and things that, we've been really passionate about for a long time and a lot of really great ideas. We have a great crew over here that we're going to be working with. We're really excited. We've been kind of sitting on these for a while, and, I think SLB would agree with me that, this has been a long time in the making.
This has been years in the making with other projects we have done, we've attempted, and now I think this is going to be the match that ignites the spark.
Absolutely. Couldn't be more stoked, man.
I'm so excited for this. So, kicking things off, today you just informed me that Rainbow Six Siege has received an update.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. The Rainbow Six Invitational, the finals just ended. And at the finals, they announced Operation Chimera, which is going to be Rainbow Six's newest season that they're going to be kicking off the Year 3 content with. And so I wanted to kind of take a moment to talk about this because this is actually really exciting, especially for people who kind of follow that stuff. And there's a lot. This game is a really large fan base now, and you're going to see a lot more. I was reading the other day. It's crazy, dude. They actually want to put 100 characters in this game.
How many characters are that now?
I think they're sitting somewhere at like around 30-something. They're sitting at 30-something between attack and defending. They want this game to go for 10 years.
Where are we at now? 2 years?
We're at 3 years.
Already 3 years?
It's already been 3 years of Rainbow Six Siege content. They plan on keeping this around for another 7 or 8 years minimum. So that's really cool to see the kind of direction that they're taking this in. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about that was really a highlight, and I think a lot of people who play video games and maybe listen to the podcast, if you have a chance to check this out, you really should, was the new Outbreak mode that they added to this. And so there's been a lot of speculation around this for a while about what this might be, and to my surprise, I got off work today and I came home and I played it for a few hours. What it is it's basically very reminiscent of Left 4 Dead. It has enemy classes like Left 4 Dead.
Yep.
But at the same time utilizes all the characters' individual abilities to kind of add more of an intricate overtone to this and combination of this. So the event will be going on for 1 month only. It is a limited time event. But during that, players will be able to get charms and weapon skins and outfits and all sorts of things like that that are only going to be available during this update. It's pretty exciting to be a fan of that right now. That Outbreak mode is essentially a Left 4 Dead mode. What it is people in I think it's Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, have been stricken with some violent form of athlete's foot, and now it's managed to take over their bodies completely and turn them into nightmarishly rabid, these creatures. So they send in, the siege operators, and they basically, they
commit genocide.
Right, exactly. They just commit mass genocide, and then they build a wall. This is why we need the wall, guys. This is,
Yeah, wall, because zombies.
That's right, why. Exactly.
Zombies,
that's
genocide,
happening down there.
Wall. Makes sense.
But for you guys that are playing games right now, if you're a fan of shooters and you haven't checked it out, check out Rainbow Six Siege for sure. It's a really great time to be playing that.
He's been nagging me for a long time to play this game.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
I think you've played that more than the Division and any other game that I've seen you win.
Yeah, that game had a massive glow up, man. When it launched, the numbers were pitiful, and over time, they've really kind of narrowed down how to take in community input and take that and use it to create something that will absolutely be a game that people remember years and years and years from now.
And we'll be playing years from now, hopefully.
Right, exactly. And we'll still be playing it. Yeah, so Rainbow Six.
Definitely check that out, guys. I've seen Josh play it enough. I've been meaning to play it. Obviously, sometimes my schedule sucks. I wanted to talk a little bit about Metro Exodus coming out, but since we're still waiting for more information besides what Game Informer released, I can't wait to talk about that game. It just looks nasty.
I've loved every one of the Metro games, man.
I haven't played any of them, but when I saw the trailer at E3 last year, I was just blown away.
Yeah, the other ones were a little bit more linear, but the storylines were good, and the action sequences were really good. I think it was actually one of the first games that I picked up for Xbox One.
Oh wow!
Yeah, amazing games. You can actually pick them up in a bundle. I think on the Xbox store, and they'll probably go for about I don't know. I got them on sale. I think for $10 for both of them.
That's not bad.
So
hopefully, we can get hard copy. I'm a hard copy kind of guy, so maybe I can find the hard copy somewhere on Amazon for $5.
Right.
A penny, maybe $3.99 shipping and handling. Moving forward, so a big announcement in the film area. Tonight they did the first test screenings for the new Godzilla movie that comes out in 2019, Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh my God.
Now, me and Josh going way back, we're huge Godzilla fans. And the weekend we graduated college together, the Godzilla movie came out, and we went to the IMAX and saw that. People have different opinions of that movie. Me and Josh, I can't not accentuate it enough, but we fucking loved that movie.
Yeah, that movie was awesome, dude. I remember just the anticipation, the childlike euphoria that burst from my soul when that first batch of atomic breath spewed out of his fucking every orifice.
Yeah, it was insane.
It wasn't like Shin Godzilla where he turns into a giant disco ball of fucking just rape and destruction.
I mean, that was cool. Don't get me wrong. That was cool. But they got it right this time. We obviously grew up during the 98 Godzilla, where it was very, the iguana climbing and not really matching up with how big it was compared to the buildings. But the last Godzilla was amazing. And everything we've heard about this new Godzilla movie, with what was going on on the production, what was going on in the editing room, where they said that the fight scene between Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah is absolutely insane. I like Mothra, don't get me wrong, but anything with King Ghidorah and Godzilla is generally the prime Godzilla monster fight.
I mean, essentially, Ghidorah is just a giant bug zapper anyway, so I think Mothra's kind of fucked there. I at the end of the day, this is... so basically, it's going to be... Mothra is like the creepy dude that stands in the back of a porno and just jerks off. He's going to have nothing to do, really, with this movie. This movie is just going to be Godzilla and Ghidorah throwing the fuck down like we thought that they were going to, and we've always wanted if you're a Godzilla fan.
So they're going to a hatred show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's going to be, open this pit up, and it's going to be set to, Fear Factory or some shit. I mean, one can only hope. I'm really excited for this. The past couple of years, we've been really lucky. We've gotten some great movies and some really great music. And, for people who are maybe hearing from either of us for, the first time, we've both had projects that were going before. And during that time, obviously we've had times where we've definitely worked together and we're basically best friends. So, always talking about stuff that's coming out. And the past couple of years have been really great for content.
amazing. You can't even. We see things that we saw when we were kids that we couldn't even imagine that was going to happen today.
Right.
We are now, with the recent announcement with this being pushed back forward a week, we're about to see Infinity War. We're about to see 10 years of Marvel movies, and Infinity War is coming out. And I made sure after we saw Civil War, I think I spent over $100 on those books.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Infinity Gauntlet saga, even going back to when the Silver Surfer started, when Thanos was going back to get all the Infinity Gems.
Yeah, the Thanos quest.
Right, exactly. Those were, honestly, in hindsight, out of all the comics I've read, honestly, those were some of my favorite ones. Am I like the biggest comic guy? People probably, have read, way more comics than me, but to me, those comics were just great from cover to cover, and I blasted through them, fucking super quick.
Probably, honestly, I would say probably one of the best Marvel storylines.
Yes.
If not the best Marvel storyline. You got to realize that, like you've read, from the Silver Surfer to Thanos Quest to Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, that lasted like 4 or 5 years as these arcs that intertwined with every comic they had back in the day for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And now we're going to see this in a movie. I'm just dumbfounded, especially Thanos. Thanos is probably one of my favorite Marvel characters, and hopefully praying, and you and I will probably flip a table that's not in the movie theater if we don't see Adam Warlock premiere in Infinity War.
I really do honestly think that this is going to be where Adam Warlock comes out. I mean, what other movie would you reveal Adam Warlock? I mean, I think that this film, we're going to get a lot of cameos for this film. And one of my initial worries was, my worry for this film has never been, is this film going to be good? My worry for this film has been, are they going to be able to fit all of the content that should be in there in that time frame? Because there's a lot.
There is a lot.
It starts from that whole thing where he goes back and gets the 5 gems. That's been building up, throughout the Marvel universe. With the Tesseract, Loki, all that stuff. They've all been... the films have been building up to this for quite some time. This is the climax. This is when it all comes to a
This is where it all comes to a head. This and
the
next Avengers movie, because originally they were supposed to be part 1 and part 2. They were still filmed back to back, so we still don't know much about the second part to this movie. But there's still, even with these 2 movies at least being 2.5 hours long each, that's 5 hours of film. Is it still enough time to tell the story that they want to tell in that time period with all those characters?
Well, my initial thought, and this was how I thought that they were going to, potentially break this film up, was, the first... I honestly, for the end of this movie, I expect utter fucking chaos, dude. I expect...
death.
I expect people to get laid out like Ron Strowman level.
Gone. That's it.
Think about all the characters that go in the first bout with Thanos. Well, actually, that's not even the first bout with Thanos, right?
It has to be the first or second. All I know, I think at one point, almost everyone but Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer and Doctor Strange are the only ones that aren't dead.
Well, he literally melts Wolverine's bones inside of his body.
Yes.
He melts him from the inside out. And then Spider-Man... Spider-Man, my boy Peter just doesn't even have a head in this game, man. He's not even, he's just out of his league. He's fighting 6 weight classes above his level. So he's, those guys are going to be gone. Or they're going to play some other role where they're just going to be kind of fighting, these other like grunts or whatever like that. And then, Adam Warlock is going to be over here. And that's going to be the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, for like 2 hours.
What, Thanos is backing up the whole time and Adam Warlock tries to swing in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, Captain America, I think he had a box put around his head. He ran out of air.
That was it.
He suffocated him.
We can't forget Nebula, who he horribly disfigured and tortured her pretty much in that whole run of
I wonder
Infinity
if
Gauntlet.
that's gonna be in this movie.
I'm curious. I would actually like to see it, as horrible as that sounds.
She takes the Infinity Gauntlet from him.
If I'm not mistaken, while she's still disfigured.
Yeah, no, she does. I forget what happens. He's like paying attention. Oh, I think he was paying attention to Death, Lady Death, and she fucking and this this bitch. This bitch pulls a 1-2 on him, right? Pulls that glove right off, and takes this guy for the prostate exam of his life. All right.
I think she literally reverses everything in the comic.
Yeah. And then all the dips in that are, and I think afterwards, there's a lot that even happens afterwards, man. We could talk about that forever.
You and I could talk about the Infinity storyline for a long time. But even from my understanding, there's a lot of elements into the most recent Infinity storyline that are being played inside this. I don't know if you've read that one.
Mm-hmm.
Where Thanos has his group of minions or henchmen. I don't know what they're called. My cousin was telling me about it. But it seems to be more in line with that story than the actual Infinity War.
Really?
That's what that's what he's speculating, and that's what it could be. And it could be a mixture of everything. Because you know how Marvel is.
Yeah.
They're not... Fuck, even Captain Marvel isn't Captain Marvel. It's not Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Which I think it should be. I think Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel is in the movie for Captain Marvel. But they're still going with the whole Carol Danvers character.
Right.
So yeah, Infinity War, April 27th. I will be there Thursday night at the IMAX.
Absolutely, dude. And I don't even know if they're going to put it in 3D.
I don't care.
That movie should never be in 2D.
Ever.
If you watch that movie in 2D, then I hope your socks get wet while you're walking to your car on the way out. All right? Seriously, that movie deserves an IMAX experience.
That should only be shown at the IMAX. Let's be honest. Only IMAX. Avengers Infinity War should only be an IMAX only film.
Right. Our sign language interpreter over here. You guys can't see him, but he's been here the whole time. Just doing sign language. He's always over here. He's even agreeing.
Yes. Quiet crowd.
Tough crowd, yeah.
So speaking of movies, we came across this one, this topic. I saw it earlier today, and I kind of skimmed over. I saw two names that were didn't go together.
Yep.
And just before we started recording, we looked at the article, and it was about Fred Durst and John Travolta. Fred Durst, the frontman of Limp Bizkit, who only did it for the nookie,
right,
is making a movie.
The Gold Cobra.
Where John Travolta plays a fictionalized version of Fred Durst.
Yeah.
And how a rabid fan, stalks him. That's the premise of this whole movie.
Oh my god, I don't know if Fred Durst could be any more into himself. He's like that uncle that you have to see every year at the cookout, and he always tries to tell you about the good old days, quote unquote. And he's, but yeah, Fred Durst. God, what the hell is that? What is that? I guess he tries to make movies now. He breaks stuff.
He breaks stuff, and I think he shits over everyone else.
Yeah,
that's all he does. Because does Limp Bizkit? Are they even together anymore?
Yeah, they were. They actually put out a record I think in 2014 called Gold Cobra.
Was it good?
I mean, it was Limp Bizkit. I mean, it's Limp Bizkit. I mean, come on, it's
yeah. So
it's all about the he said, she said bullshit.
Fred, just keep rolling.
Yeah, I know.
I just had to bring that up. Every time I see something with Fred Durst in it, I'm like, this guy. You want to talk about somebody who digs his own fucking hole?
Yeah.
Fred Durst has a cat bulldozer to dig his own hole.
He's awesome.
So.
But yeah, man, I don't know what it is lately about people popping up that I haven't seen in a while. Fred Durst is one of them. The other person, I haven't heard anything about Harrison Ford. Remember last time? Didn't Harrison Ford crash his plane into a golf course?
Yeah, yes.
He thought he was flying like the Millennium Falcon still or some shit, and he freaking plowed his plane into a golf course. Well, the other day, he was at Brown. Or
Really?
he was on Thayer Street the other day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was on Thayer Street the other day, and I don't know. I think he thinks he's teaching archaeology at Brown.
Oh boy, does that mean there's going to be another...
I think he's Dr. Jones. I think, yeah.
So, just to clarify...
It's an ARG, guys. It's an ARG for New Indiana Jones movie.
For those who don't know, who aren't from the southern New England area, Thayer Street's a street that's like literally 5 minutes from mine and Josh's places. Very popular with the college kids. Wow, really? Because I thought he had done Blade Runner, and then he thought that he was
Oh
one
my
of...
God,
I thought he disappeared because he
thought
thought...
he was in Blade Runner. Dude, I completely forgot that he was in Blade Runner.
Maybe he thought he was a replicant, and he just wanted to hide for a few years.
It's gonna be like Fallout 4, where it's one of those guys from Fallout 4 that they don't even... The synths?
The synths, yeah.
He thinks he's a synth, dude. He's just wandering around aimlessly. Like,
he was at the movie premiere. He saw Ryan Gosling, and he booked it. He took a limo. He goes, "We gotta get out of here."
Oh my God. Yeah, man.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah.
That. I know Danny Amendola was at Brown doing a speech, but that was it. I didn't.
There's a lot of weird people. There's a lot of people around here.
Yeah.
I don't know. it's the nation's largest pothole. Rhode Island.
Every so often, you come across somebody in this area. It's like, what the fuck were they doing around here? What is there around here? Like, I mean, I know Emma Watson was going to Brown for a while, but, like, besides that, we really have nobody who hangs around here. Maybe James Woods.
Yeah.
You get the occasional James Woods.
Yeah, so people used to go out to, like, Nantucket and stuff.
Nantucket. Newport's very popular. You got T Swift, who's at the southern part of the state.
Yeah.
I advise nobody go south of the tower, if you know what I'm referencing.
For real.
As we mentioned music, so there's me and Josh were huge music fans, huge metalheads in particular. A few years ago, we flew out to Sacramento to see the Aftershock Music Festival. And the main reason we flew out there was to do probably the biggest groupie kind of thing you could do for a band was we flew out there to go see Tool. You know,
Yep.
I think next to the Grateful Dead, Tool fans are just as dedicated, if not more dedicated. Not saying I'm going to follow them because their shows are like a nut and a half to get to. But,
I know what you're thinking. You're saying to yourself, well, Trollarg, hey, what's going to come out first? You or the new Tool album? To which I say, apparently the new Tool album. Today, I think that they actually announced that they were actually in the studio.
Announced. It wasn't a rumor. It wasn't some asshole on Reddit. It wasn't somebody who knows somebody who babysits the kids of Adam Jones's sister who said they're in the studio. They announced, I think on their Instagram, they're in the studio. It's official.
Started taking some grassy knoll photos of them in the studio and posting them.
So next week, you and I should be expecting the Half-Life 3 announcement.
Absolutely.
Half-Life 3 will be coming out, guys.
The memes can stop, finally. Maynard has announced that the Tool album is on its way, apparently.
I don't know how to feel about this. It's just we were in high school when 10,000 Days came out.
Right, and it's been about 10,000 days since the last one came out. So there you go.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, it was 2006. This is huge news. Usually I've been trying to avoid the Tool shit I've been sharing on the page because there's always something coming out from somebody else.
Right.
This is something I could not ignore. This is something that I think we wait.
Yep, and now we wait. This is what we do. We
just
sit here. So don't move. We just sit here.
They're the only band I think that could honestly, and I say this to everybody. Tool is the one band, if they were to put out tickets for a tour the same day Metallica could, Tool tickets will outsell Metallica.
Yeah.
And they're not as big as Metallica is.
You think so?
Like, they're not big as
I actually wonder that.
Like commercially successful.
Yeah. I know. I would pick the Tool concert over Metallica.
I would. Not that I don't like Metallica, don't get me wrong, but...
What? as Kirk Hammett would say.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's solo time! No, Kurt! So yeah, we're gonna definitely be following this as news comes out because now they're in the studio, and geez, I'm not gonna have kids graduating high school by the time this album comes out. I'm
Right.
so excited.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking about things I haven't seen since I was a little kid, so
Dicks? No, I'm just kidding.
I was at the gym this morning. Let's just be clear with that.
So I was in the locker room and...
Good old Kevin Spacey walks up to me.
Oh,
How old are
man.
you? 27? I'll see you later. So, I remember being little, and one of my favorite shows to watch was Lost in Space, the original
Yes.
black and white show. And then we had the movie come out. Whether you like the movie or not, I think it's kind of timely when you go back and watch it. It's a 90s movie. I mean, Wild Wild West isn't a great movie, but we still go back and watch it because, it's just Will Smith at his
That's Big
prime.
Willie style.
Yeah,
you know.
But Netflix, with all their moolah they have just released the trailer for the Netflix original series of Lost in Space. Wow.
I know. I couldn't believe it, dude. You showed me the trailer for this. Sam showed me the trailer for this. And I said, SLB, this does look like something special, but this looks like Michael Bay had a wet dream with like a childhood experience, of mine. And I was a little bit skeptical. It had the Danger Will Robinson, except it was like Danger Will Robinson, and
The robot's an alien, if that's what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing.
that's what it looks like.
And it's a little different, but you could just tell with Netflix and their production value, they're pulling in more money than sci-fi does.
Yeah, they are. It's incredible, honestly, the effects. I mean, they just launched the new Cloverfield movie, Cloverfield Paradox.
I saw most of that.
So, with this one, it's definitely going to be time again for Netflix and isolation.
There are days I want to get rid of Netflix, and then they start coming out with all this original content, and I'm like, there's no reason for me to get rid of this program.
Absolutely not.
It's the medium to have. And that was another idea I had with Bedlam Media, as we're talking about this, is that I think conventional forms of entertainment are, the old TV or just sitting, turning on the TV, putting on a channel, just throwing on a movie. It's not what it used to be, and I think Bedlam Media is going to be the perfect outlet for this kind of.
I think it's a nice. I think what we're going for is, what we want to do is appeal to the common guy. We want to appeal to the guy who gets off at 5 or whatever, or is just kind of chilling around the house, and enjoys some people shooting the shit about some topics that they are into, and maybe they'll learn about some new things that they can check out, and this will be a nice kind of overall hub. That's not porn, but this will be a nice hub for everybody to kind of get an overview. We're gonna have some original content here. Like we were talking about before, we have some really great people working on this with us, and
Very
we're really
dedicated
excited.
people.
Yeah, really dedicated, and our scope here, our dreams are big. And, we want to be able to appeal to everybody. We want to be able to have enough people that know about enough topics that everybody can listen and take part in the Bedlam experience and get something out of this. And you maybe even learn about new things that they might want to get into, So we're very much looking forward to this. And, yeah.
It's going to be a really exciting experience. We also are eyeing a lot of original content. Me and Josh have thrown ideas around that not necessarily cover these topics, but it's just original content that we've wanted to create as well, almost like a art display, if you will.
Right.
So, just our passions.
Right. And that's what this is, man. What Bedlam is, what we stand for, is overall creativity, I think. And I would say, growing up, and I personally was heavily inspired by things like G4 TV, And what I really admired about it, them and sites like IGN and things like that, were their flexibility and how many hands they really had in the pot and how much they could cover. And, over time, some of those channels are no longer here, or, they've since turned into other things. And but I think what we're going to do here going forward is we want to be able to provide a lot of original content, that covers a wide spectrum of things like comedy, sci-fi, sports, all that stuff.
As well as cover content that's currently coming out that we enjoy, that we're passionate about.
Right.
Like right now, I want to throw a shout out specifically right now to my buddy Scott. He's head of marketing with us. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on the days this pay-per-views, he live tweets everything that WWE does. And that's a lot of dedication when you think about that's half the time over 10 hours of content, 4 days a week. Scott's
doing a good job for sure.
I can't give you, I don't have enough thumbs to give up to you, Scott. You're amazing. Keep up the good work.
Let me pull this one out of my butt. You can use this one.
Good. 3 thumbs. So, speaking of live tweeting, we will be live tweeting in less than about a month now.
Right.
WrestleMania weekend. At the moment, I know we're live tweeting WrestleMania. We're live tweeting TakeOver. We're even going to go as far as live tweeting Supercard, Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor.
Yeah, Ring of Honor is awesome.
So we'll be doing that. Also down the road, June comes around, you can expect us to be heavily covering E3.
Right. We got a lot of big plans this year, a lot of goals that we're all trying to meet. And we really want to build a community here that is, cohesive, supportive. And yeah, we just want to be able to give you guys the best content that we possibly can. So that means a lot of input from you guys that are listening.
A lot of fights in those comment sections.
Right, exactly. We want to see I want to see some raunchy comment sections, you guys.
I want some Superdome shit going on. We're going to drink. We're going to get the swords out.
Right.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Nobody's taller than the last man standing. Remember that. My grandma told me that one time. It's the scariest thing I ever heard in my life. She didn't really, but I love her still. But anyway, so, this is going to mean a lot of polls that I'm not dancing on. I'm going to put them on Facebook.
We don't have to do it anymore. We're
right.
done.
Yeah,
no
I'm done with
dancing.
that now. That life is over.
Independent women, men. Jeez.
So, so running a lot of polls. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. We're trying to learn about new stuff too and kind of widen our horizons here. Send us in some stuff to talk about. Inbox us.
Yeah.
Or leave it in the comments section.
We're not closed to anything you throw at us. Anything. Well, there are things we won't do.
Yeah.
But
so.
But yeah, don't forget to like us on Facebook, share with your friends. Go to our YouTube channel, Bedlam Media. Like that. Subscribe to that. Share that as well. Go to our Twitter, media_Bedlam. Sorry, we couldn't get Bedlam Media in time on that one. We're on Twitch. We're trying to push Instagram. Hopefully get the MySpace page going up soon because people actually use that, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's 2005 again.
It's all bots.
Yeah, all bots, and I think a lot of musicians use it.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of bands still use that. So you go on there, and All Time Low is on there still, and MCR, and
oh my god,
Hawthorne Heights.
Oh my god.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
I gotta see this. Well, all right, so next episode, we're going to be pulling up our MySpaces. We're going to try and resurrect them, and we're going to see what kind of embarrassing content.
Who was in your top 8, and what was your MySpace song?
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
Oh, my God, that would be great.
Really?
Yes, let's totally do that.
Totally doing that. Okay, guys, this is the SLB.
And I am Trollarg, and this has been...
Order in Bedlam.